Hey guys, welcome back to the dirt bike shed for more chemistry. All right, we're going to work on balancing these equations here. So first thing first, let's take a look at this thing right here. Okay, this is magnesium hydroxide. And we know this is the formula because if we were playing cards, we would have an MG card, and you know that would have a +2 on it. And if we had cards that said hydroxide on them, the hydroxide cards would have a negative, right? Remember, we're playing poker? I'm playing some Kenny Rogers in the background. He just died. Did you hear that? Remember I played to that song, The Gambler? Well, that guy just died last week or a couple of days ago. Well, if we had an MG card, it would take two OH cards. So we end up with MgOH2, right? Now, if we're balancing an equation and magnesium hydroxide is in the equation, what would happen if I needed to put a 3 here? That would mean that I had 3 magnesiums and that I had, ready, 3 times 2 hydroxides. So I would have 6 OHs. I would have 3 MGs, and I would have 6 of these if I put a 3 there. You have to wrap your head around that first. So if we're playing cards and end up putting a 3 here, it means there's actually 3 of these atoms now. And there are 6 OH negative cards now. And we need to know this so when we're balancing equations, we can make the same number of atoms on each side, and we can follow the law of conservation of energy. Now let's balance the easy balance short sheet. I don't have a printer in the dirt bike shed yet, so I'm just writing out all the problems, and you follow along, okay? Here's the answers. Try to work it first, okay? Try to work it first, and then watch me do it. Okay, here we go. All right, I've got 1 sulfur here, 1 sulfur here. Those two are balanced. I've got 2 oxygens here and 2 oxygens here. They're balanced. This one's done. 1, 1, 1, easy. Okay, let's look at number 2. I've got 1 sodium here, 1 sodium here. That's good. I've got 2 oxygens here, 2 oxygens here. This was written wrong. I copied that wrong. That should be Na2O. You know that formula is wrong, right? Here we go. 2 sodiums, 1 sodium. All right? This is what the problem's supposed to look like. If I have a 2 here, then I could put a 2 there, and now I'm balanced. 2 sodiums and 2 sodiums. Now I've got 2 oxygens on this side, and on the other side I've only got 1. Uh-oh, that's a problem. I need to bring this one up to 2 to match that. It means I have to put a 2 in front of the whole thing. It's the only way I can do it. You can't add a little number down here. So now I've got 4 sodiums and 2 oxygens. I've got to change this to a 4. The answer to this is 4, 1, 2. Let's try the next one. I've got 1 mercury, 1 mercury. 2 oxygens, 1 oxygen. I've got to bring this oxygen up to the number 2 so I can be balanced with this side. I'm going to put a 2 there. Putting a 2 there now gives me 2 mercuries. So I've got to put a 2 over here. 2, 1, 2. So if you look, there's 2 mercuries, 2 mercuries, 2 oxygens, 2 oxygens. Balanced. Let's try this one. I've got 2 silvers, 1 silver. Well, that's not right. I could put a 2 there, but I see another problem already. You see that oxygen? There's 1 oxygen, but there's 2 oxygens over here. So I have to give us 2 oxygens on this side. The only way, I can't write a number 2 there because that would make the equation incorrect. I can put a 2 there. 2 times 2 now gives me 4 silvers. 2, 4, 1. Balanced. I hope you're catching on. Let's keep rolling. Iron plus chlorine gas yields iron 3 chloride. All right. Let's balance these chlorines first. I've got a 2 and a 3. What's the least common multiple for these bad boys? 6. You're right. So I'm going to bring this one up to 6 by putting a 3 there. I'm going to bring that one up to 6 by putting a 2 there. So I've got 6 chlorines. 6 chlorines. See, 2 times 3 is 6 chlorines. Now I've got 2 irons here. So I'll put a 2 right there and we're balanced. Let's do number 6. I've got 1 aluminum. I've got 1 aluminum. That looks good. I've got 1 hydrogen. I've got 2 hydrogens here. Now my instinct would be to slap a 2 here. But check this out. I've got 3 chlorines and 1 chlorine. See, now we're starting to predict problems before they happen. We've got to bring these chlorines up. I know if I put a 3 here, then that'll give me 3 hydrogens, and I won't be able to match it with this 2 hydrogens. So let's go ahead and find the least common multiple. And if I put, a 6 here, then that gives me 6 chlorines. I can put a 2 here, that gives me 6 chlorines. Now I've got 6 hydrogens. I can put a 3 in front of this hydrogen gas. And let's look at these aluminums. 2 aluminums, 2. 2, 6, 2, 3. Take a look at that. That one's balanced. All right, so let's keep rolling. We got number 7. Number 7, let's see. This is methyl, ethyl, hexabutyl. This is an incorrect formula. That should really, if it's C4, that should really be H10. But let me see if I can balance that out. All right, we got 4 carbons. We got 1 carbon, okay? And we've got 2 hydrogens over here. We've got 8 here. So if we were going to try to balance this, first thing I would do is start out with a 4. Let's see what that does. It gives us 8 hydrogens and 8 hydrogens. All right, now I've got 4 carbons here. There's only 1 carbon here. So put a 4 there. All right. 4 carbons now and 4 carbons. And let's finish with our oxygens. On this side, we've got 4 times 2. I've got 8 oxygens there. And 4 times 1, 4 oxygens. So I've got 12 oxygens on this side. So if I slap a 6 in front of this, 1, 6, 4, 4. That looks balanced to me. Let's keep rolling. Number 8. I've got propane plus oxygen yields carbon dioxide and water. That is a combustion reaction. And you know what? It's happening right there. I'm running my heater. There's big red out there. I'm running my heater in the dirt bike shed, and there is this equation happening in real life. Right there it is. Okay. I couldn't resist. Y'all know how I do stuff. All right. So, 3 carbons, 1 carbon. All right, we can try that. We can try that. I can put a 3 here and say these 2 carbons are balanced. 8, slap a 4 right there. Now I've got 8 hydrogens and 8 hydrogens. Now let's balance the oxygens. 3 times 2 is 6 oxygens right here. 4 times 1 is 4 oxygens here. 6 plus 4 is 10 oxygens. Put a 5 there. 1, 5, 3, 4. That looks balanced. Barium hydroxide and phosphoric acid make barium biphosphate and water. Right? This one's going to be tricky because see that hydrogen is separate than those two. But if we look closely, we can probably figure this bad boy out. All right, I've got a phosphate here. I'm going to count this not as a P and 4 O's, but as a phosphate. That's how I'm going to think about it. All right. I got 3 hydrogens and 1, 2, 3, but I've also got 2 hydrogens here. This one is the tough one. I'm going to think about this one for a second. Hang on, I'm going to cheat. I'm going to think. All right, I've been thinking about this one, and I was making it harder than it was. All right, let's take a look at these. We've got a lot of stuff here, but we treat the phosphates like one thing. Let's take a look at these hydrogens. I've got 1, 2, 3 hydrogens on this side, but on this side over here, I've got 1, 2, 3, and that 2, 4, 5. So if I want to bring this side up to 5 hydrogens, I can put a 2 right there. That gives me 2 times 2, 4, plus 1 is 5. 5 hydrogens on the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hydrogens on the left. I've got 1 phosphate, 1 phosphate, 1 barium, 1 barium, 2 oxygens there, 2 oxygens there. We're done. This one's 1, 1, 1, 2. And let's try the last one. The last one is sodium hydroxide and phosphoric acid yield sodium hydrogen phosphate and water. Okay? Again, we've got these hydrogens split up. I've got 1, 2, 3 hydrogens there. 1, 2, 3, 4 hydrogens on this side. So that's a bummer. Let's see. Let's try with these sodiums first. I got 2 sodiums. Put a 2 there. That balances out my sodiums. Then that gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hydrogens. And 1, put a 2 there. 3, 4, 5 hydrogens. See, 2 times 2 is 4 for my hydrogens. Plus 1 is 5 for my hydrogens. 2 sodiums, 2 sodiums. 2 single oxygens. 2 single oxygens there. 1 phosphate. 1 phosphate. We're done. 2, 1, 1, 2. All right, guys, that's how you do it. If you have any questions, put them in the comments on the website. Or call me.